when it concerns education, what attracted me mostly to the whole thing was I found out that our moral values in Africa, not just Nigeria, has nosedived. The mindset is different. In my own time growing up, I grew up with my grandmother in a very small town in the north. I saw poverty. I saw what poverty was, not with us, but at least in the whole community. And, I was so worried about the whole thing. And most times in the north, you see the girl child, usually they don't allow them to go to school. They only go to this Islamia. So those were some of the things that prompted me to go into the humanitarian work. So like I said, our values nosedived. The mindset was different. Our own time, one of the things that we were taught was work hard and you will get there. These days, what you see is that you don't have to work hard. If you have what it takes to give to the teacher or to anybody, you will get there. In my own time, certificate was important, but it wasn't that important that I would have to buy it. I would walk my way through it and get it. But right now, all they are after is a shortcut to get those certificates and get there. You would see somebody with a first degree and still cannot even write a formal letter. So those were some of the things, we try to mold these children, to rebuild them, to change their mindsets, because that's the only way the whole of Africa will have some peace. If we change our mindset, if we see our children on the streets exchanging education for penny, you see the things that they're selling and you're wondering, what then are you going to make out of that? But you see, it's always an avenue for something else. Some of them just sell those things because at night, they either go into prostitution or they steal or they take drugs. So those were some of the decay that we saw, and we decided, okay, let's see how we can contribute to the change that we really want.
So those were the decay that you saw, which of course is not only in the north or in the south or in the west, it's all across Nigeria. And like you correctly said, it's all across Africa. And if you go to South Africa, it's the same. You go to Congo, it's the same. We basically have this problem that is ravaging us all around. Anyway, I'm not going to go into systemic argument today. We are going to look at what we can do to address the situation. Now, of course, there is no way you can find any solution to any problem if you don't try to dig into what led to the problem. So even though you are not a politician and your husband is not a politician, we are still going to we are human beings. We are part of the society, So, madam, this question also is for you. Where do you think how do you think we get to where we are today, or to where you started 3 decades ago, where this problem now become almost endemic in our society? The defect in our educational system. How did we get to that point? Is there something that was wrong from the onset, or did we get derailed along the way?
Yes, I think we got derailed along the way. And it all comes back to our values. As Nigerians, we had our own values, but what we started to do was to bring in the values of other people, their cultures. We started to imitate other people and our own cultures. That thing that was keeping us, that thing that brought us together, that value that kept us, nosedived. We started to bring in the foreign cultures, whereby a child will look at the parents and insult the parents, or look at the teacher and insult the teacher. Those things started coming in. Money became the basic thing for every family. The mothers, my own time, okay, I lost my mom when I was very young, so I won't use myself as an example, but for every other person that I know that had their parents, most times the mothers were at home or just selling something, doing a small business by the side. The father was working, and then the little money they bring in, they solve their problems without looking outside, going outside what they really need. But right now, even the things we don't need, the things that we need, we just bombard everything together and compare ourselves with other people, bring in different cultures into our already scattered system, and then the whole thing just keeps getting worse. It keeps getting worse. The teachers are not treated well. They too, they look after money. the highest bidder, the better. If you come with your child, and first of all, even government just messed up the whole government schools. I went to a government school. I went to a mission school, and all the whole politicians you see today, they went to these government schools and they came out well. But these government officials decided to neglect these government schools. Part of our work when we go to public schools, you'll be amazed at the decay that you see in these schools. The teachers are not being paid. You can imagine not paying a teacher for 5 months. So anybody that comes there to give any mega sum, any small amount, she's inclined to go to that line. So they started all this, lesson teacher, they will not teach what they're supposed to teach in the school because they want to teach as private, they want to become private teachers. So they will not teach what they're supposed to teach. They won't follow the curriculum. They will take money and come outside to come and teach. And so that gave birth to private schools. And then now there's a competition. If you say your child is going to a public school, it's like, oh, you're very poor. So everybody is, oh, my child went to this school. It becomes a class issue. Which school is your child going to? Once you call one name that is not popular, they just look at you as, this one is not even in our class. So those were the things that brought all these kind of problems in the country. We lost it along the way.
Yeah, I think a lot of things boil down to neglect by the government, and it is not only in education sector, even in the health sector, because you discover that some doctors that are very conscientious, like for instance now, doctors are on strike in Nigeria. Okay, doctors are not paid well and they are not paid at the right time. Okay, so the things that the unscrupulous ones do is to tell their patients to meet them later in the evening at another clinic where they are probably doing part-time for them to get better treatment. You understand? So the time they are supposed to actually spend in actually treating patients very well in the government hospitals, they don't. They put more effort in those private hospitals. So the same thing with education, okay? So these teachers are not well paid, and then what they do is to try to see how they can, self-finance their, personal life. You understand? So what most of them do is to organize private lessons or start a private, coaching scheme or something, so that some of the children in the school will come and register in the private school to get better education, and also for the teacher to get some extra income. So those are some of the things that actually destroy the education system. And coupled to the fact that the government officials, they bring up policies that favors them. You understand? So you can imagine they stop the missionary schools so that they can have a way to start their own private schools. So now we have private primary schools, nursery primary schools, we have private secondary schools, we have private universities. So if you want better education and if you want to get your children educated in an institution that does not go, where the teachers don't go on strike, take your children to the private schools. Otherwise, a 4-year program will end up being like an 8-year program.